Good evening, everyone. Tonight we're going to go into the Holy Bible and we're going to flip over to Genesis, the very first book in the Bible. Now let's go down here to chapter 1, verse 6. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. Now let's move down to chapter 1, verse 14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth." And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. Now, let's flip over to Psalms 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Now, for those of you who are biblically illiterate, let me take you to Wikipedia and see what the definition of firmament is. Okay, in biblical cosmology, the firmament is the structure above the atmosphere of earth, conceived as a vast, solid dome. According to the Genesis creation narrative, God created the firmament to separate the waters above the earth from the waters below the earth. And now that you understand what that means, let's look into the Bible and see what picture that it shows of the firmament and the earth and the heavens. Now, would you look at that there? The waters above the firmament of heaven, the sun, the moon, and the stars underneath the firmament of heaven, the earth, and the ice pillars on the outside. Okay, now, let's take a look at the original Hebrew Bible and see what picture it shows. Imagine that. The same thing. The firmament, the sun, the moon, and the stars under the firmament, the earth, and the ice wall. Now those two pictures should look familiar to you. Check it out. Now you understand where this picture comes from. Now, last but not least, let's look at all the pictures of all the ancients and see what they depicted the shape of the earth to be. I'm not going to read them out loud. You guys sit there and take a look at them. Look at each one of them. They all have a flat disc with a firmament over the top of them, and the sun and the moon inside that firmament. So, as you can see, once again, this is not something new. All of the ancient civilizations knew where we lived, and they depicted it in their artwork, right there for you to see. And I specifically want to point out the three oldest cultures there is: the Mayans, the Egyptians, and the Incas. Take a good look at their depiction of the earth. The Mayans have a dome with water rushing over that dome, and the sun and the moon and the stars underneath that dome. The Egyptians, as you see, the blue woman represents Mother Earth. The blue represents the oceans above, the dome with the stars fixed in them. And the same with the Incas. You can see a dome over the flat disk earth with the sun and moon and stars underneath that dome, and they even depict the Sheol, hell, underneath the flat disk of earth. there is only one picture that doesn't line up with all the other depictions of the earth since the beginning of time. And it looks like this right here. Now, like I said, since the beginning of time, all ancient civilizations depicted the same shape, the same picture of what the earth looked like, except for one agency called NASA. And this is where they tell you you live. And there's not one of you watching this video that has ever seen this right here with your own eyes. Ain't none of you ever seen this right here with your own eyes. The only time you ever seen this right here was on the television or in the book that the teacher handed to you. And your teacher that handed you that book, she ain't never seen this with her own eyes either. She taught it to you from the book that was handed down to her. And you walking around here thinking you intelligent and know where you live at. But you ain't never seen it with your own eyes, but you believe it. Now I'm going to leave you with one last little verse from the Bible that goes with this picture right here. Okay, we're going to go to Timothy, book 1, chapter 6, verse 20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called.
Horizon, the sloping sea level, the spin of the earth. Unless you can see these phenomena with your own eyes, they may not be true. Unlike what we've been told in school, the earth looks like a snow globe, round but not sphere. The North Pole is at the center of most flat earth maps, with the ice of Antarctica holding everything in.
Well, new this morning, all our lives we've been taught that there's little doubt that the Earth is round, of course. We've seen the images from space, but not everyone's really convinced.
There's a whole group of people who are not convinced. Some common themes are the Earth is not a sphere, as you said. It's not moving. We are not spinning on an axis or revolving around anything. And biblical literalists believing the Earth and everything we see when we look up in the sky exists in sort of a dome. And everything we see when we look up in the sky exists in sort of a dome. And everything we see when we look up in the sky exists in sort of a dome.
Thought for the day, Terry R. Eicher. Everyone, thanks for watching. Have a good night, and God bless.